Yes, people, you know the face, you know the name. Aaron here, back again with another match reaction. Bit of a different one today. Is outside Old Trafford, OT. And I wish I had the same enthusiasm
as before the game.
As before the game, yeah. But listen, before we carry on any further, I want to introduce the two people next to me. To my left, David.
Nice to meet you.
Yes.
Nice to meet you again.
Yes, Uno, David Uno.
Nice to meet you again.
Yes, and to my right, you've probably seen him before. In fact, if you haven't, it's impossible. You have. My guy talks from Football Fans Tribe.
What are you telling me, bro? I'm getting into the UK life.
Yes. Listen, pleasure to have you guys on my channel.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for accepting to be on here so we can talk about this game.
Thanks for having us. Pleasure.
No problem.
Thanks for having us.
Listen, these people have watched me for years, so they know a lot of my views.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to chime in a little bit, but I'm going to let you guys talk. Yes. I'm going to let you guys talk.
Yeah.
United 0, City 0. What were your impressions? I'm going to start with you, David. Your impressions of this game overall?
Embarrassing. I've seen better 0-0s than this. I've seen better 0-0s than this. It was utterly embarrassing. I think we play well, bring the ball out of the defense, good in transitions, then we lose the ball. We create chances, nobody to finish, right? It was poor entirely from a Man United perspective, but also it was also poor from City as well. Reigning champions, scared to get bit from probably the worst United side in history. So I'll just take the points. We're getting closer to that 40-point margin I talked about earlier in the day.
We're getting closer.
We're getting close. 2 more points. So let's see how it goes to the end of the season.
Does that probably, what David just said, does that probably tell you where the two clubs are at in terms of the state of the clubs?
Yeah.
He just said, a City scared to get beaten by this United.
All on Guardiola, all on Amorim as well, I would say, because if he had seen City for what they are at the moment, make those attacking substitutions earlier, you would have gotten something out of this game. But I understand they are still champions. They have a couple of dangerous players, so you have to be careful. Do you get? But totally 100%, this is a testimony to what Manchester United and Manchester City are right now. In terms of, let's just ignore the league table and talk about the form of the teams at the moment. It's terrible. It's drab. It's dry. It's dull. It's dead. There's nothing going on. And to be honest with you, I'm kind of disappointed in myself for expecting more from this game because I'm part of the problem. If my expectation was low enough, knowing fully well what's going on at these two clubs, maybe I won't be here so low. But then, I mean, it was a very dry game, and it shows you where we are at the moment.
Yeah, listen, I probably agree with both of you guys. I think the most exciting part for me were at the beginning of the game when Garnacho had that little spell where he ran through and then he got the free kick. When I saw that, I was like, oh, we're going to have a good game here today. But then nothing up until the end when Xerxes came on and brought that little extra spark. He had 2 shots. I think one was really good saved by Ederson, and then he had another shot that got saved as well, just went over the bar. So we did have chances, but we just couldn't capitalize. And that's the story of United this season. That's the story of United. And where do we go from here, David? Because we've got Lyon next away from home first in the Europa League. If anything, that's going to help us because the return leg is back here.
Yeah. That's what I'm looking forward to, the return leg. For me, I just feel like going to Lyon, we don't get beat, so the confidence is not like, battered. It's not like a back-to-back defeat anymore. So I think we go to Lyon hoping that we can get a result from there. We'll get a result. Be 1-0, be 0-0, 1-1, 2-2, 2-1. I'll take that result and we'll come back to Old Trafford. I think we have enough to get over Lyon, to be fair. It's not going to be an easy game, but I feel like we can do something. The Europa League is all we've got left. That's all we've got left. Like we were talking earlier, I don't expect us to win it, but we have to do something.
Yeah, we have to.
We just cannot be part of the number. We have to do something. So I feel like we're going to do something come Thursday.
See, Tox, in this game, for me, the most frustrating thing obviously was up front and everything, but for me it was in the middle. In the middle of the park. It was like I was watching a youth team. You know, sometimes when you watch youth football, that's when they make all these mistakes, controlling the ball, giving it away straight away. That's when these mistakes happen, but it shouldn't be happening at the top, well, I say top level, it's not really top level, but you get what I mean. In the Premier League, these type of players shouldn't be receiving the ball 1 second, giving it away the next second. Was that something that frustrated you as well?
Yes, it did. And Casemiro, Ugarte, Gundogan and Kovacic, these players, they just, all of them combined, if you listen to the names, you'll be expecting, okay, some intricate play, some cleanup and everything. You'll be expecting more names alone. But then, when it comes into the game and there you start seeing, Casemiro, I feel, was the only person out of these four that were around that central midfield position that did anything useful. Even Gundogan was terrible. He has been terrible all season, but nobody will say it now.
This comeback is a big flop.
This is a drawback. It's not a comeback. It's a drawback. So Gundogan, terrible again. Kovacic was trying to do those little things, but then Casemiro was the only person. And when you see midfielders that can't really, he was even finding those long passes as well. He was doing that one-touch pass that Bruno Fernandes tries so much, but he did about 2 to 3 of them, open up the game a bit. So then it's now you're now looking at, okay, the impetus is on the winger now. Can you beat your player? Can you put the ball in? So Casemiro was the only person. The rest of them, they were just Ugarte as well. I was surprised with how poor he was, because
really poor.
It wasn't like they were pressing him and putting pressure or anything. He was just on forced errors most of the time. And then, though he had some 1 or 2 clean-up moments, but then the midfield today was dry. Even Bruno was trying to get in advanced positions, right? He was trying to do more goal actions, let me say, quote and unquote. But then, he wasn't really affecting the game as he normally does. He was receiving the ball. He had a few moments. The one he did over Doku, I think, where he crossed the ball over him. But, bro, that midfield was there today. And, like I said, it all boils down to the starting lineups, the mindset of the coaches going into the game. Where those starting lineups, speaking of coaches that want to win the game, maybe just go ahead on time before you start making changes and all that. I don't think so. Those starting lineups were Savino and Doku on the bench, Zexi on the bench. These are players that can probably get the result for you, but then you're being cautious. You want to see what will happen as the game goes on and all that. So I won't really blame Guardiola at the end of the day. You understand? Maybe losing 2 derbies in the season is a big shame.
It really is.
To one of the worst United teams in history as well. So maybe he was a bit cautious as well, unlike him. So he's changing, and that's just what I think.
David, I want to talk about Garnacho because I think we have to talk about him. Once again, completing 90 plus minutes, was it 94, 95? 94 minutes completed, and once again we can stand here and say that for 94 minutes he was ineffective, erratic, doesn't make the right decisions, makes decisions before thinking of making them. What did you make of his performance today?
Talking about Garnacho again is just going to be flogging a dead horse, to be very honest.
What's the point?
What's the point? Like, ability, like ego of Ronaldo, ability of Obin Nansofo, I would always say that. Ability of Obin Nansofo, I always say that. Like, it's terrible watching him because it's terrible actually watching him because I looked at like 2-3 passes. One was from Fernandes, that Fernandes slotted it right in behind Matheus Nunes. Like, can you just put the ball in front of the defender? The worst thing Nunes would do there is foul you, and that's a red card. Goal scoring opportunity. What does he do? He takes the ball, he runs towards the corner flank, stops the game and brings the ball back inside. And I'm like, he could not complete, he couldn't even take his man on. I was telling Tox earlier, the only take on I saw Garnacho do today was on O'Reilly. And it was because O'Reilly slipped.
Yeah, I remember that,
That was it. So for me, it's just like we have no options right now to replace him. I expect we're going to do something about that in the summer. Hopefully, we'll go for Trincao or we'll go for Tyler Dibling or whoever is out there that can play that position. But Garnacho is a no-no for me. He shouldn't be starting games at United, I'm sorry.
What annoyed me the most was, again, he's ignoring his teammates, and I think as a teammate there's nothing more frustrating than, for example, being on the left hand side, you've just made a whole run all the way up front and then Garnacho just ignores him because he prefers to cut inside and shoot.
Yeah.
How would you feel as a teammate constantly getting in goal? Because he had about 2-3 opportunities where Dogu was on the left overlapping, could have slid him in,
Came in, did that nonsense.
decides to cut inside and shoot.
Yeah.
I think since Patrick Dogu has come to the club, I don't know if Garnacho does not have peripheral vision. I don't know if he doesn't have that because
Stoned off.
Dogu is always bombing forward,
Always
and
bombing
he chooses to pass to Fernandes rather than using like a reverse pass
Yeah.
when Dogu is free. Like, it's annoying. A player that earns such big money at United.
Yeah, that's big.
You know,
That's big.
The way I see it, you see Garnacho, I feel he's a bit under pressure at the moment. You understand? He knows he has a dip of form at the moment. His confidence is low, but still, you still have to deliver, bro.
Yeah.
The expectation is there. Out of all these players, you're one of the few players that maybe you say, okay, I'm a true, full Manchester United player, academy and everything.
Yeah.
So you have more of the responsibility. I feel he's taking that responsibility now and putting more pressure on himself each day. I would always say it, if you're a goal-scoring winger or a striker or whatever, and you're having difficult times, the easiest way out for you back into confidence is to start providing.
Yeah.
Just focus on helping other people. You get, that's another thing that makes me love Doku so much, because whenever he gets into a game, his first 2 to 3 tries is to find whoever is in the middle. Then after 2 to 3 times, he can now say, okay, can I shoot now and try something for myself? So I feel he's under pressure and he's feeling it a lot. Make things easy for yourself. Do your byline and your cut back, or do your byline and your dink cross, or do your cut in and your whip
Just
dink
basic
cross.
stuff. Yeah.
Do the basics. In this life, no hard. This life is not difficult. Football is not rocket science. You understand?
Really not.
Open your eyes. If you have an available player, pass the ball. Keep it simple. If you keep things simple every week, you make those short passes, make a run where you need to. These fans will not be screaming every week.
True.
So that's the surest route back. And I feel there's still. I won't condemn him like that and say he's still very young. He can improve, but then he just needs to take one step back. Maybe this is where you need senior players in the team now.
They have
you get
to,
if
yeah,
there was
yeah.
a winger like that's 28, 29 that has been through times like this, you get guide him back. It's just a confidence thing, and then once you start seeing the light again, he will start performing again. He has done it before. It's still possible, but at the moment he is terrible.
But sadly, we don't have that, do we? Sadly, we don't have that. When you talk about wingers that have been through it, we currently do not have that at the club. The closest we have there is Marcus Rashford. The closest we have on there is Marcus Rashford, and he hasn't really done much either. We complain about the same things with Marcus, you know. It is what it is at this point,
Gentlemen, to finish off, I'm going to read you the remaining fixtures in the Premier League. We're starting off, obviously we've got Lyon in the Europa League, but let's just keep it to Premier League. Newcastle away.
Skip.
Wolves at home. Bournemouth away.
Wolves at home.
Wolves at home.
Wolves at home that's gonna be difficult.
Wolves at home win. Yeah.
It's difficult.
We are beating Wolves here.
I'm not that confident.
I am.
I promise you, I'm not that
I
confident.
am. We are beating Wolves at home.
Okay. Bournemouth away.
One more away. Draw.
Draw.
You don't even believe what you're saying, bro. You don't believe what you're saying.
We are not going to draw that game. We are not going to lose that game.
Okay.
We've already lost
they've been
We've lost 3-0 at home. We've lost 3-0 at home. We're not going to go to Bournemouth and roll over again.
Okay, let's run through them.
Yeah.
Brentford away.
Brentford away. Ooh, we beat them earlier in the season, right? We did beat them. Probably draw or defeat.
Okay. Then
David, when you finish all these score lines, just drop the controller, because this is PS5. You're saying this is not reality, bro.
No, let's go. Let's keep going.
okay, West Ham at home.
West Ham at home. Ooh, that's a tough one. That's a tough one. Now I'll have that kind of feeling for Wolves. That's a tough one. Yeah.
Okay.
That's a tough one.
And then the 2 last fixtures of the season.
Yeah.
Normally.
Yeah.
Chelsea away.
Draw. They're bastards anyway. They're not playing.
Bro, is there any way United can just skip all these matches and wait for next season?
Simulate.
Just sim everything. Sim all the 90
Bro,
minutes.
Chelsea is not beating us. Chelsea, there's no way on earth Chelsea
What's
is
the
beating that
point?
game. So,
And again, what are these players playing for in the league? They are not
don't forget,
really.
we turn up for the bigger games. Don't forget that.
And the last game of the season normally,
Villa home.
Villa at home. Now this one, I'm sorry, I'm just, yeah.
And this, see, what I'll say, I think it depends. That largely depends on where United are at in terms of Europe, number one.
Villa
And also,
too.
hold on.
They are in the Champions League now.
Villa's still in the Champions League, yeah.
It depends on where United are in Europe. If United maybe qualifies for the Europa League final, feel good factor is there.
You fling away that
Then,
game.
if you have
lose 7-0 and wait for the final.
If Villa qualifies for the Champions League via top 4,
Yes, which they can.
which they can, so I think the onus is on United to go because Villa wouldn't be playing for anything at that game.
Also, picture, you could be playing Chelsea and Villa back to back when both of them are struggling for
Champions
to get that
League
top
as
4
well.
That's very
So
true.
at the end of the
Yeah.
season. So
That's why I'm like weighing it
the
up. We can crash their
motivation-
parties actually.
at the same time, motivation for them could be way higher because you know, okay, maybe United at that point will be finishing
That's why I was
10th or
saying- that
9th
was- yeah, that's
or
what I was
12th or
saying.
something,
Yeah,
and then
that
there's
was
no
what I was
need.
saying. That was what I was saying. It depends on where Villa is at that point in the season. If Villa have qualified for the Champions League, they're not playing for nothing.
Yeah, I don't think they'll bother. But listen, gentlemen, thank you so much for joining me on this big review of this game. Tox,
My guy.
make sure you follow him. Make sure you subscribe to his channel. The link, will be in the description and also in the title. So make sure you go ahead and subscribe to his channel,
Active.
Football Fans Tribe, all the way from Nigeria.
All the way.
All the way from Nigeria.
all the way.
David, thank you very much.
Thank you.
I'll leave some of your stuff in the comment section in the description as well, so that people can follow you. You guys know what to do. It's road to 15,000 subscribers. So if you haven't already, please do so. Like, share,
Please,
comment,
if you're here
subscribe.
from Fans Tribe, subscribe before you. Let's make it. Let's take it up to 20K, Sef. Please.
There you go.
Let's go.
Guys, thank you very much for watching. Like, share, comment, subscribe. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Peace.